Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be starting Unit 7, which is the law or the legal system. We just got done with Unit 6, which was the judicial branch. So now we're going to be talking about more of what is going to actually happen if you are arrested. And we're going to move through that warm up. So before we get started, you have to know that when people are arrested, they have additional rights, more so than even we taught in the court cases. You have the right to an appeal. We talked about that back with like Gideon versus Wainwright, when he appealed because he was not issued a lawyer. And also, the actual definition is when you are asking a higher court to review your case. You have the presumption of innocence, which means that you are innocent until proven guilty. And you have the right to an impartial tribunal or an unbiased court, meaning when you or a jury is assigned to you, you are not supposed to know anyone of that jury, so that you can get the fairest case possible. Again, the legal system has federalism embedded in it. So you can see that federal laws apply to federal court, and those people will go to federal prison if convicted. State statutes, remember, statutes is a state law, go to state court. State prison, local ordinance will go to a magistrate municipal court, and you could potentially go to jail. And underneath, these are the people that enforce those laws. All right, so here are your types of laws. Your first type of law is constitutional law, which is rules from the Constitution. And these laws could be things like the articles and how the government is actually set up, but it could also be the amendments and the rights that are given to you by the Constitution. You have administrative or regulatory laws, which are laws created by government agencies. This is through the executive branch. And these could be things like the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency. They create laws about pollution and maybe how much your car can pollute before you can't drive it anymore. Or that's just one example. There's all kinds of executive laws. Then you have statutory laws, which are laws created by a legislature. That does not just have to be Congress, that can also be your North Carolina General Assembly or your city council. Um, then you have common laws, which are laws based on precedent, which is previous decisions made by judges. Then you have international laws, which are laws governing world issues. And criminal laws are laws that prevent crime, which we know they don't actually prevent crime all that much. Most people don't commit crimes because they know that they'll be punished if caught. But some people ignore laws and commit crimes anyway. Then the last type of laws is civil law, and that's laws between people. All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about criminal law. A crime is any act that breaks the law. There are two types of crimes. You've heard about both of them. A felony is a serious crime, such as murder or kidnapping, and a misdemeanor is a less serious crime, such as speeding. A criminal is the person that commits the crime. And there are 5 categories of crime. The first category of crime are crimes against people, and those would be, or your examples of crimes against people would be murder, assault, rape, hate crimes. But there are like a ton of different crimes against people. These are just 4 examples. A question I commonly get while teaching this class is what's the difference between first degree murder, second degree murder, and manslaughter? So let's scoot over here. First degree murder is premeditated murder. And what that means is you sat down and you thought about it and you decided to kill someone. Second degree murder is what I call a heat of the moment type murder, meaning you didn't necessarily mean to kill someone, but you got so angry or you did something that was very intentional to kill someone. Or maybe you did something and you didn't mean to kill that person, but you were just so angry it happened. Um, a good example would be like, in movies where a husband comes home and his wife's cheating on him, he goes crazy and kills both people. A manslaughter, which sounds like it should be the worst, but it's actually not. A manslaughter is a accidental murder, and what that means is like, or an example of what that would be is like if you were to be drinking and driving and hit someone and they were to die. You didn't mean to do it, but because of what you did, that person died, and so that is considered manslaughter. The second type of crime is crime against property. You got your examples could be larceny, robbery, arson, or vandalism. Larceny is when you steal things. Robbery is when you go into a store and steal things. Arson would be when you burn things down or burn a building. And vandalism would be, it could be any number of things. A lot of people think about like spray paint or like keying somebody's car or something like that are examples of vandalism. The third type of crimes are victimless crimes, and the examples are gambling and drugs. And the thought behind those being victimless crimes is that the only person you're hurting is yourself. So there are no outside victims in a victimless crime. The fourth type is a white collar crime, and those are things like copyright infringement. So, like if you tried to take the Nike check mark or the Nike swoosh and put it on a pair of shoes and pass it off as your own brand, that is copyright infringement. If you try to take someone's music and make a song with that music included in it, but not pay the royalties on that song or not get permission to use that song, that would be copyright infringement. Embezzlement, that means that you're stealing money from someone, probably a company that you're working for. Then you got computer hacking, that means you're going into people's computer and stealing personal information. Possibly you're stealing someone's identity, and that can move into identity theft, where you're stealing someone's social security number, or you're opening accounts in a person's number or in a person's name that they don't know about. It could even go as far as filing someone else's tax return to get the money. Then there's the last type, which is organized crime, and that is your examples are prostitution and drug trafficking. And the reason prostitution and drug trafficking are organized crime is because oftentimes prostitutes are in an organization of prostitutes, and they have someone with them that would be, called a pimp, and they hold money for them, and and then you have drug trafficking, which is a very organized crime. From the Mexican cartels and cartels from other country. There's a supply chain that makes its way from other countries into the United States and has really become a large problem in the United States. That is all I got for you today, guys. I hope that you have a great day and that I get to see you soon.